Hello, my name is Kelly Follis. I'm the Director of Community Outreach for the Seguin ISD and the Director of the Seguin Education Foundation, and I'm here to talk to you today about our Seguin Education Foundation grant. As you're filling out the application, please keep in mind the mission of the Seguin Education Foundation. Our entire purpose is to generate and distribute resources to help you enrich your teaching so that our students' learning may be inspired in a way that will help them to gain new opportunities by new knowledge. So there are some things that we do fund and we do not fund. We definitely fund innovative teaching. So think of something that's kind of outside the box. It's not in the regular budget. It's a way that you can get an idea across to your students in a new way. We want your grant to directly impact students, and you should be TEKS-oriented so that we see results in the students learning something that they need to know to be successful in life and enriching their learning opportunities. So we do not fund replacement or repair of current materials. We, at this point, cannot fund professional learning for you or behavioral incentives for your students, and we recognize all of that's important, but it's not what our grant is about. We also don't fund behavioral incentives or travel outside the district, and we don't fund substitute teachers. So our grant is about funding TEKS-oriented grants that will help you to enrich your students' knowledge. We have two levels of grants. One has a maximum of $1,500, which is for your classroom. If it's just about your classroom and the things that your students will learn, that limit is up to $1,500, but we need to get your exact budget that you'll need, but it's limited to $1,500. And then there's the the department or campus grant. This is something that's a little broader in scope. Multiple classes will be sharing it, and that is limited to $5,000. So we give some examples there, a reading program for one class versus for the entire grade level. That's just one of many examples. This is what our application looks like, and there's a QR code so you can get right on there and start filling that out. We do have a very firm deadline of Tuesday, September 26th at 5 o'clock. So make sure and get started on that. It's not a complicated grant application, and we'd love to hear from you soon. There's some general information at the beginning of the application, and then we get down to question number 13, where we start gathering points. And each question on the application has a point value that's given to you on the application, and the total number of points for the entire application is 100 points. So that gives you perspective. The first thing that you're going to do is tell us your goal. What is it that you're trying to teach? What is your desired outcome? So what will your students learn? That's what we want to know in question 13. And then 14 talks about our goals as the Education Foundation. You can check as many of those goals as your project advances. And, just let us know how you're enriching the students' learning through your teaching. And then the SISD's goals, that we linked the strategic plan on that question on number 15, because that's where those goals come from. And you don't need to worry about the specific grade level that a goal may target. For example, the third grade, that maybe there's, reading goal for the third graders in our district, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't check that. If your grant application is concerning reading, even if you teach a different grade than third grade, still check that. We're really looking at skills that you are trying to impart. And then just a few more questions. How will you achieve your goals? How will you measure your success? So how will you know if your grant was successful? What will you see in your classroom? Maybe along the way, get some feedback from students who tell you, exactly what it means to them. Maybe your administrator is in your classroom and says something that, they're impressed with your grant. Let us know those kind of comments. Let us know what you're seeing from your students. And then sustainability, how is this just a one-year project, or will it make ongoing an ongoing impact in your classroom, and will you be able to use what you're gaining from this grant to carry on to future years for future students. And then we love to see partnerships. So if your grant requires your students going out in the community or the community coming into your classroom, we like to know about that. And it can be even the Seguin ISD community. If it's just you need to hear from another teacher or an expert in a certain field that you would like to come into your classroom, or your parents involved in your classroom, that's what we want to know from the partnerships question. So the very last part is just about budget. We would need to know exact quotes from an approved Seguin ISD vendor. If you don't know if a vendor is approved, you can check with your campus secretary or with the purchasing department and find out. But, for example, Amazon is an approved vendor. You can give us exact prices of items on Amazon. You do need to include if there's shipping. You do not need to include tax because we are tax exempt. So no taxes, but yes, shipping. And give us the exact price of things that you want. Now, if you can't find an approved vendor, we can work with you on that. But you need to, first attempt should be getting all materials from a vendor that's already approved by the Seguin ISD. And then finally, we need to know that your campus is behind your grant goal. So we want to see a sign-off approval from your principal that shows us that your campus is happy and excited about your idea and wants to have that learning happening on the campus. And then we will take all of your completed applications and we'll distribute them for review to the department heads at the Seguin ISD under which your grant is concerning. So if you have a fine arts grant, we will make sure that all the fine arts grants are reviewed by Mr. Tejas, so the director of fine arts, so that he can make sure that all of those grant applications are in line with the district's goals for that particular subject area. But we'll worry about that. You just concentrate on your principal. And, this is what you want. So apply right away so we can come out to your campus, bring you your giant check, and of course, more importantly, the funds that are behind that. It's a big production and you want to be part of it. So if you don't apply, you can't be. So go ahead and apply, and we hope to come visit you sometime later in the fall. And these are a few of our grants. We want you to be one of those next year. We awarded about a little over $60,000 in grants this year in 2022. And for 2023, we want to do the same thing. So get your applications in. We have money to spend. And if you have any questions, concerns, anything that you would like to discuss with us, please email the Education Foundation or call. Your grant application is due by September 26th at 5 o'clock, no exceptions. Please try to get them in earlier, not the day that they're due, because they'll be a better quality that way, and we'll be happier because we aren't so overloaded right at the end. So we appreciate all you do. We know you're busy. We know it takes some extra effort and time, but we appreciate your efforts to make our students' lives more fun to learn things in a more fun, creative way. And we appreciate that you have a passion for your students and you want them to succeed. So that's what we're all about too. Thank you so much. Let us know if you have any questions, and we wish you all the very best. Have a great day.